Chair recognizes Ms. Hinojosa.
Okay, thank you. Back to the amendment. It takes both the Kraus amendment and the Schaefer amendment and includes the language that we know that has been tried and true, that is the Religious Freedom Restoration Act amendment that still recognizes and respects people's religious liberties, but we know what we're talking about when we use this language that was proposed by Representative Moody earlier. Members, I'm a lawyer, and when I started to hear that lawyers, because of religious belief, would be able to use their religion to not be appointed to rape cases, I wonder where that ends. Whose religion allows for rape? I don't think any of our religions allow for rape, but as officers of the court, we know that there's also a necessity and a right for people to be represented by counsel. We need to know what the language we're using means. If we vote for this amendment, we are voting for religious freedom, for religious liberty. We're just doing it in a way that we know what it means. This other way that has been proposed, I'm Catholic. Does that mean if I don't pay my taxes because I don't believe in war and I'm violating a law, then I shouldn't be held to account by the bar? You know, I just don't know where that ends. So let's use language that we know that is tried and true and responsible, and let's go back to the substantially and
Mr.
adversely language.
Mr. Dutton?
Will the lady yield?
Does the lady yield?
I will.
She yields.
Thank you. Let me ask you, Rule Point 5.08A says, and let me read it to you. It says, a lawyer shall not willfully, in connection with an adjudicatory proceeding, except as provided in paragraphs B, manifest by words or conduct bias or prejudice based on race, color, national origin, religion, disability, age, sex, or sexual orientations towards any person involved in that proceeding in any capacity. Now, that's what the current rule says. The way I read this amendment, does it cancel Rule 5.08?
I don't think any of us know, are you talking about my amendment or the amendment as it currently stands?
As it currently stands.
As it currently stands, I don't think any of us know what we mean, because we're using language that we've not seen before. My amendment uses language that protects our religious rights and liberties, but has been tried and true. It is like Representative Frank's bill. That's language that we have used already. It is protecting those rights. And let me tell you, Representative Dutton, I hope the membership is listening, because when Representative Moody first introduced the language, that amendment only lost by 10 votes. So if members who may have voted against that might think about, can we just try to use language that the courts have weighed in on, that we can all get behind, because it's tried and true and protects our religious liberties? Well, that's what I'm urging.
Let me ask this question this way. This rule that you're amending creates an affirmative defense for not following some of the other state bar rules. Is that right?
Affirmative. I know there is an amendment for an affirmative defense. I'm not sure is this the one?
Yeah, that's what
Okay.
it seems to me. That it says all the state bar rules are this, but this is a rule that says that if it goes on as an amendment, it would create an affirmative defense for not following the other rules. And that would suggest to me that your amendment is needed to ensure that that doesn't happen. I mean, tell me again, what does your amendment do?
My amendment just uses the standard that this body has endorsed, that everyone understands what it means, and that's the RFRA language that protects our liberty, our religious liberties.
Right, and so you're amending that amendment, which, okay, I think I understand your amendment, but I hope the House is paying attention, because without your amendment, I think we're creating as someone once said, you know, you have all these rules, and the last rule says you don't have to follow any of the other rules. And so you really don't have any rules.
And we don't know exactly what that means.
Well, and that's what concerns me too, because it can be concluded when you read it, though, that one of the possibilities is it vitiates all our rules.
It can be.
Yes. Okay.
Wow.
All right. Thank you, Madam.
Thank you, Representative Dutton. Again, I urge you to vote for religious liberty, religious freedom in a way this body has endorsed before, in a way that we all understand what it means. And I urge you, I move adoption.
Ms. Hinojosa offers up an amendment. Members, the question occurs on the adoption of the Hinojosa amendment. This is an up or down vote. Clerk will ring the bell. Mr. Schaefer voting no. Mr. Leach voting no. Mr. Dutton voting aye. Dr. Allen voting aye. Have all voted? Being 56 ayes, 89 nays, the amendment fails.